The jorts, when somebody said, okay, I like jorts. But when somebody said that everybody looked like John Cena, like, I couldn't get that out of my head.
All right, Skylar and Cassidy, welcome to Sports and Ish, where we find out about your life in the sports world and out of it as humans, right? So we're gonna start with Skylar.
Okay.
You're such a force of an athlete and a basketball player and a teammate, but I know you're injured right now. Mm-hmm. You are rehabbing an injury. Mm-hmm. How does your role shift while doing that, but still trying to contribute to the team?
Yeah, it's almost in a sense harder sometimes being out than in, because you have to be with the team activities and then you also have to work around the team activities, right? Because obviously the players that are healthy are prioritized and you have to work around the shooting schedule or maybe around the weight schedule or with the medical team. So it takes a lot to be out. You know, you have to go hard, you have to go to appointments, you have to, go double sometimes with your rehab program, and then also stay engaged. And so that's the main thing about it, not trying to be a distraction to the team, but also trying to show up and be present to support the ones that are in and healthy right now. And so it's a lot of things you could do from the sidelines to support. Obviously, it doesn't give the same with competitive edge and things like that that you've missed. And obviously, you want to be out there with your teammates. But the best thing you can do for yourself is try to get as healthy as you can to help contribute. And while you're out, just cheer for the next woman up.
Absolutely. Cassidy, so many years in broadcasting, such an incredible job you do. Tell me how you've seen this industry change. It's changed a lot.
I think the most constant thing is the change. And I think we're on the verge of another change that I don't even think we can process yet. I graduated college in 2007, right after Facebook launched, as Twitter was launching. And I think a big part of, my journey was understanding that a big part of being able to grow with the business is have a passion of understanding the business and understanding how it's growing. And so I've seen it change tremendously. I'm sure Skylar can also, attest to how much the landscape of media has changed and how she's been covered. And I think that's a big part of what we're experiencing. I don't think we know what's to come and how people consume sports. And I think it's important for us to all be paying attention to it.
Absolutely, yeah. And now you have a podcast together. And mom. I'm a mom and I love the idea behind it, right? That you can still chase your dreams and be a mom.
Sure.
Tell me what sparked it for you guys. And it feels like it's been a long time coming, but what sparked the original idea for the pod?
First of all, I love being able to work alongside Cass. As we've done this process, we talk about it, how therapeutic it is for both of us. We're both extremely private with our life and what we share, our personal life, especially our children.
Yeah.
When you guys see us, we're in the realm where we're in front of people, we're on TV, we're always out, we're talking, we're very open otherwise. But I think when I started looking for some of those conversations relating to the other hat that I wear, a lot of times it was an asterisk or, it wasn't really spaces that had these conversations that answered some of the questions that I had about motherhood, some of the insecurities that I had, and just trying to provide that safe space for moms to tell their stories, for people to leave our podcast feeling empowered and supported, and just really creating this space for us to have some of these conversations and where some of them can live organically.
Yeah, and look, I feel so, me and Sky were brought together, but it felt like it was just, we were meant to be together, because we both are similar, but we bring, different experiences. But our executive producer and creator, she came up with the concept after she was laid off at 7 months pregnant.
Wow.
And she was searching for, anything to help her kind of navigate the space of, trying to be an ambitious working mom, but also wanting to have her family. And she didn't see anything out there. And so that's why she created it. And, she saw something in Skylar's journey, and I was fortunate that she also saw something in mine. And I think it's just all come together so organically and naturally. And it's so far, I think it's been enriching for all of us.
Shout out Christine.
Shout out Christine. I know Christine. She's lovely.
Nicole is awesome too.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, you're mothers who live very sports-centric lives. How have you seen the industry shift for mothers?
Well, we talk about it specifically in the W, our collective bargaining agreement, which is just our agreement between the players and the league as far as resources and standards and expectations. We were able to have a historic CBA this year in 2026 to start the season, to go into our 30th season. And so I came into the league in year 16.
Okay.
And so, to see it shift and to see people investing in women's sports, especially for moms having opportunities to family planning, freezing your eggs, different resources. You get your full salary now. That wasn't the case.
It's crazy.
Which we just finished our live podcast with Cheryl Swoopes, and her talking about being the first one to come to have a baby, in the WNBA's short lifetime and everything she had to navigate. And so it's really full circle when you get to have conversations like that, and when you get to see the opportunities for not just the young women that I play in the league with now, who will be there when I'm long gone, but also opportunities for my daughter if she wants to come into this league, and having those opportunities for her when she decides to start her motherhood journey.
Yeah, and just quickly, I think, I hid my pregnancy because I thought no one wanted to see a pregnant woman on the sidelines, and, that was my own journey I had to go through to feel comfortable with this motherhood process. But now you're seeing so many women, proudly pregnant on the sidelines and embracing, the fact that they're having a family and also, their career. And I think that's the natural progression. We say representation matters. The more women, are accepting of who they are and what they're capable of, we'll see more women carry that flag going forward.
Absolutely. Who is a mom in the industry, athlete, talent, who you are looking up to?
For me, in our league, it's a few women. I look up to a lot of women, just in general in our league. The mothers of our league, specifically De'Erica Hamby, who we had on our show, and she's amazing, and she was the second woman to come back from multiple pregnancies in our league. And then Cheyenne Parker, who was the fourth woman to do it. And so we have so many, Brianna Stewart, Nafisa Collier, Courtney Vandersloot on our team. It's so many moms in the league who are doing great things, and I'm inspired by all of them. I get to work alongside some of them parallel, even the women that work in our offices and our organization, just to see them balance everything. And so I think it's very inspiring getting to see these women work. And De'Erica was on our show, and our children are 2 weeks apart, and she played the whole season, and I sat out for maternity leave the whole season, and she didn't miss a game. And so I'm constantly inspired by the women of our league, mothers or not, but especially to see the ones in the league juggling what they juggle is really inspiring, and it really assures me sometimes when I feel insecure.
And I got to give you your flowers, by the way. You also played while pregnant, for a while, and a lot of people can't do that. So
thank you.
You've handled it with such grace. How about you?
Someone who has inspired me, and one of my best friends is Doris Burke. And I think that, the fact that she was a mother, and, during the time when she was trying to be a trailblazer and be a voice that, at the time no one wanted to hear, in terms of being a female voice, analyzing men's game and women's game, just trying to make that a normal thing to people, and then also raising her 2 kids. And we often had the conversation where she was like, I'm so proud of your generation because you're fearless. And, her just saying that to me, I'm like, we're fearless because you helped pave the way. Like, you were able to, give us the confidence that, like, it's possible. And so I think we need those trailblazers in order to keep, and some people are looking at us as trailblazers, and we can't wait to see what the next generation of women and mothers are capable of.
Yeah, I'm looking to you guys. Just so impressed. Would love to know your thoughts on something that women don't talk enough about being working moms. Like, what do you wish more people were saying out loud?
I wish people said out loud more that, like, we say it all the time, this concept of, like, balance is not a reality.
Yep.
Yeah. And, there's this guilt of, like, that we feel that we're not spending enough time at work, or we're not spending enough time at home. And I guess it's just, like, giving women grace, because it's also our bodies, like, how we're recovering. I had a C-section, emergency C-section, and I thought I was going to be able to return for the Christmas Day games, and I told myself I was going to. And sometimes it's not even, like, outside pressures. It's, like, what we're telling ourselves, because what we think is going on. I just wish we kind of voiced it more, and that's the point of our podcast, is to say these things out loud. So, we're not having these conversations just in our head, so we can make things a little bit more comfortable for us as we are trying to navigate, matrescence.
Yes, love that. Matrescence,
Matrescence, I'm learning.
Yes.
Changes us.
We learned that, like, adolescence is a journey into adulthood. Matrescence is our journey into motherhood. And we always ask all of our guests, what does that mean to you? Describe motherhood in one word.
Yeah.
And we always get the most profound profound answers from our guests of how they feel about motherhood. And so I just think, like Cass said, just giving yourself grace and being okay with not having it all figured out. And sometimes we try to figure it all out, plan and control. But like we talked out there, leaning on your village, if you have a village, you know, not being afraid to ask for help, and getting your medical team together, you know, doing the research as far as who you want around you, who you want handling you. I think that's really important. And it's a topic that, you know, we don't really talk about, but from pelvic floor specialists to mental health professionals to couples therapy, to all the resources to, you know, if you want to get into midwifery, just all the things. So I think talking about your options, your resources that you have to kind of help you along your pregnancy journey as well, and then the postpartum care is something that we never talk about.
Truly.
Postpartum care of mothers, not just children.
Right.
And we take our babies to the doctor copious times right after they're born, and we only get checked 6 weeks after. And so I think just tapping more into ourselves as mothers, and that's from a grace health standpoint, mental health standpoint, just tapping in with ourselves and as mothers.
Amazing. You're both known for your style. You have great style, both of you. Tell me what trends you're loving right now in the fashion world. Anything?
Oh, this is yours. This is your domain. You're like,
No, I hate to say which ones I love and which ones I like don't love.
You can say both.
The jorts, when somebody said, okay, I like jorts, but when somebody said that everybody looked like John Cena, like, I couldn't get that out of my head.
Because
so now all my jort outfits, I'm like,
you gotta do like a kid heel with a jort though.
Yes.
Or like a cute little feminine shoe.
You gotta dress it up a little bit, you know, but I do like the comfortability.
Yes.
We used to wear the Bermuda shorts, Cass, you know, that
Yes.
cut like the same, or the gauchos that cut the same way. But that man, whoever said that on Instagram,
I know.
when they said now everybody look like John Cena, like you're rude. And you ruined jorts. You ruined jorts for me. You ruined
jorts for everybody. I don't know, man. I'm like pseudo into fashion. Like when I'm not working, I'm just whatever's the most comfortable thing I could wear. I am in full sweats and sneakers because it puts. Every time I'm going on air, there's so much effort. This is none of this is mine.
Yes.
You know, like I just
it is. It is.
I bought it, but it's just like I'm, you know, like in my 40s now. I'm not really. I can't put in. I wish I was that girl. I wish I put the energy into it.
She puts
when
it.
the lights are on, I'm there.
She puts it.
But when they're not, you
puts
don't
it
even
on.
recognize me. You walk past me on the street and you're like, let me give you $1.
It's tough because you always on TV, so like your outfits are on TV. You're not repeating those.
No.
You're not repeating
Do you guys know
those.
this?
I'm an outfit repeater. You know?
Yeah. No, I can't.
Am I outfit repeater or are you outfit rememberer? Remember that movie?
That's right.
You both always look great. That's
Thank you.
the moral of the story. You are an athlete, you are a broadcaster, you are moms, but you are also humans outside of both of those roles. How do you connect with yourself outside of those two very demanding roles?
I think I'm more comfortable with my solitude. Before, I used to think I had to fill up that time and like do things.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just want to be idle. And I think as I'm getting older and like into mommyhood, you know, sometimes you have those like, I hate to say it, but like lock yourself in the bathroom moments. Sometimes you're like, all right, I'm going to eat my snack in the bathroom because you guys like all my snacks. You know,
they do.
Yes,
They
only
do
the
love
ones
your
that
snacks.
everyone
They love
that I
your
like.
snacks.
But I just think having the moments of solitude to myself, you know, how they used to say sleep when they sleep. Like, nope. I used to be like, nope, I'm taking my time to myself. My playlist is on, do my meditation, my Pilates, go out in nature.
Yeah.
I try. Or just like if I could spend a quiet moment, because sometimes it seems so simple, but sometimes we take those for granted. How many of those do we get in our lifestyle that's so chaotic? So I think as I'm getting a little bit older, my kids are too, just trying to find those moments of solitude, you know, to make a decision for me and do what I want. And get myself together first sometimes. Instead of the kids.
You, Sky.
I know, I'm trying.
You said that.
I
was just like, what was that SAT word you said before? Copious. I just watch a copious amount of television.
Yeah.
You know, I just
See
watch
that,
all the TV. I watch a lot of TV.
And what are you watching?
Right now, I'm very into the Gilded Age. Yes. It's a comfort show right now. I'm also need to watch The Bear, which I just finished Friends and Neighbors. Do we have the time? Because I've watched a lot. I need to pick up a book.
It's a range.
It's really it's a range.
Audiobook.
I need to pick up a book is what's happening.
But you know what? You're doing so much outside of it. So sometimes it feels good to just shut your brain off, you know? I'm with you. Thank you both so much. This was so fun to get to know you as athletes, broadcasters, and people.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lily. Nice to meet you.
So nice
too.
to meet you.